Mahaganapatin Manasa Smarami Mahadevamudam Shirasa Namami Mahaganapatin Manasa Smarami. In these classes, we plan to look into one of the three prasthanas. So when you say prasthanatrayam, three prasthanas, we mean the source book of this spiritual knowledge, if we can call it spiritual knowledge. This knowledge, for which the means of knowledge is the Shruti, the Veda. Which be what we say, Vedanta. At the end of the Veda, each Veda, so there is a deliberate dialogue between a teacher and a student or students. Sometimes names of these people are mentioned, sometimes they are not, but they are in the form of dialogues. So these dialogues go by the name Vedanta, just a positional name. The last portion of the Veda is Vedanta, just positional name, that which is the Antima Bhaga. Antima means last. Bhaga, portion. So the Antima Bhaga of the Veda is, we call it as Vedanta, for want of a better term. Very interesting. We don't want to say anything else, because it must gain the same status of the Veda. Any other name would deny that status. So it is Veda. Veda is a pramana, is a means of knowledge in the form of words. And then Vedanta is Veda. Then why should you say Vedanta? Because it has a subject matter which is different from the initial or the predominant portion of the Veda. We call it first portion of the Veda. In fact, predominant portion of the Veda. But don't go away with the idea that only at the end of the Veda this is discussed. Right in the middle also you have discussions. There are a number of hymns. And the Ishavasya Upanishad is right in the Samhita, right in the middle of the Veda, Krishna Shukla Yajurveda. Therefore, there is no such thing, only this material is available at the end of the Veda. That's why I said deliberate dialogues are there. Therefore, predominantly the topic being this particular topic, a topic which only the people who have a certain commitment look for, want to know, certain understanding, and which we generally say for the time being spiritual, Okay, let us call it spiritual, because the word spiritual has got different meaning for different people. Really. Everybody has got a meaning for spiritual. And therefore, we do not know what is spiritual. I find even some of these people who have nothing to do with anything to be gained here, they are all working for going to heaven. And therefore, there should be nothing spiritual. Spiritual means something should happen here. But they also say they are spiritual. Huh? They are highly committed to heaven. They are preparing themselves for going to heaven. And by knocking off buildings, etc. And so these fellows, so they also use the word spiritual. And so it's a very funny word it is. Very highly subjective. Spiritual, divine, religious, God, all this are understood privately. Each one has his own, her own way of looking at it. That's why I said, let us call it spiritual, because for me spiritual means something, a topic which is dear to all and sundry, a topic that everyone is interested in, even though one doesn't know. Once one knows, interest is not open to choice. The more you know, the more you get interested in it. In fact, any other interest is a confused interest. So the interest in this alone is reflecting upon your interest in other things. Suppose you say, I am interested in this. Why? Because that will give me better security. And therefore you are interested in something that gives you security. And that is what this is. Okay? Confusion is that will give you security. That will not give you security is already known. The stock market has really proved that fact. Okay? That proved that fact. That will give you security is gone. All the pension plan gone. Everything is gone. And that means what? So we are all ready to fall on our own lap. Okay? In fact, yesterday I was telling in a meeting that one good thing about Indians is they have a very good retirement plan, and that is sannyasa, for which you don't require money. Okay? So we are all happy. In fact, we can be assured that nothing bad will happen to us, because you can't become worse than a sannyasi. Okay? So when we glorify that sannyasa, where is the problem? So we are always aware the glorified way of living is open for you. God has taken away all the crutches from you. You know, no problem. But I say, you are interested in security, but really what gives you security is what I am talking about. What the Upanishad, Vedanta talks about. That is its top. That is the topic. Or if you are interested in happiness, going to heaven, all right, you want to go to heaven, what will happen there? I will have beatitude. What is that? Beatitude means what? Beatitude means what? You sit like this? What is beatitude? No, you will be full and happy, in love with God, which you can do right now here. Right now here. God is not somewhere hiding. You don't need to go to heaven. Why should you go to heaven for that? And therefore, this body is no good. No, that is a thing we have to discover. But you are interested in beatitude. You are interested in joy. You are interested in happiness. Okay, that is what the topic is. And therefore, we want to be saved from sins. Which sins you are talking about? Sins that you have not committed. Oh, who committed? Then you have to ask. That is, your original parents committed. For which, why I am responsible for that? Because it flows down like genes flow down. Along with the genes, you are getting this, these genes from African genes, you are getting along with that, this sin also flowing. And you have to save yourself from that. Fellow points out, it's a very interesting thing. He points out a sin that I do not know anything about, and I am not responsible for it. Then he appoints himself as the one who is going to save you from it. You create a problem and afterwards be in charge of saving the person from the problem or solving the problem. This is what they call union leadership, in India. So the labor union leadership is like that. The leadership always creates a problem. Then the leadership assures the people, don't worry, we will solve the problem. Okay? This is how it is. But even then, suppose you want to be saved from the sins. Now, Vedanta topic is, you are already saved from the sins. Better to examine that. And therefore, any interest that we have anywhere, is only an interest in the other thing, as though in Sanskrit we call it interest abhasa. Understand? One Sanskrit word, this is an anglicized word. Half English, the other half is complete Sanskrit, not anglicizing. This is interest abhasa. Purushartha abhasa. Interest abhasa, as though it has got it, even though it doesn't have it. You are superimposing a value which the blessed thing doesn't have. So this is the topic. And therefore this topic in the Upanishad, in the Vedanta, in the last portion of the Veda, is with a commitment discussed thoroughly. And therefore, so Vedanta is otherwise called Upanishad, is the source book for this knowledge. Source book for this knowledge. Which knowledge? What we are going to talk about, what I have just now passingly mentioned, that it is its topic is that you are the solution to the problem that you are. If you are the problem, nothing else will be the solution. You have to see yourself the solution. Correct? If I am the problem, I am the solution. Nothing else will solve the problem. Even God cannot solve the problem if I am the problem. Then he has no solution. He has to help me see myself as one who is not a problem. And therefore, either by equipping me, embellishing me with something that I won't see anymore that I am a problem, or knocking off all the notions, confusions that I have about myself. So he should make me see that I am not a problem, and therefore I am the solution. In fact, I am not a solution. I am not a problem. That is the solution. Understand? When I am the problem, and if the problem is illegitimate, it is unreasonable, if it is purely due to my own confusion about myself, then the solution is I am not a problem. Generally what we do, when we say, I am not the problem, meaning is you are the problem. That is the meaning. In all arguments, So I am not the problem, means others are the problem. The more you point out others are the problem, then you are the problem. There is no other. There is no real other. Even empirically speaking, relatively, if you say others are the problem, then you are the problem. You have the problem, that's why others are the problem. Somebody standing on your toes, then whose problem it is, tell me? Huh? It is your problem, because he is standing on your toes. The other fellow is standing on your toes. Therefore, it is your problem. It is your problem. Suppose you like somebody standing on your toes. No problem. So no problem. I love being trampled upon. I love being treaded upon. No problem. Somebody is obliging you. I had a school teacher, elementary school teacher, and then he used to ask me to walk upon him. He would lie down. I had to walk on him because he had, I think, some kind of peripheral neuritis or something. And so he would ask me to walk. So pressing and all that is not enough, small boy. And so he would ask me to walk on him. Then, he is a teacher, and how can I? So I used to tell him, how can I walk on you? Hey, come on, Yelai, walk. So, and so you would ask me, Yelai means, hey, come on, like this, I have to walk on him. So I have to walk on one leg, go all the way up, then come back to the other leg out, again go. What he used to do? He had neuritis. And therefore you cannot blame me. See this fellow, a student and such a small boy, he is walking upon his teacher, on his teacher. Can you say that? No, that's exactly what he wants. Therefore some of you want to be treaded upon, no problem. And suppose you don't want to be treaded upon, then if somebody is standing on your toes, then what? You have a problem. You have a problem, not that other fellow. He doesn't think he has got a problem. You have a problem. So you solve the problem. How to solve the problem? Ask that fellow to as Indians we are supposed to do this. So request him. Ek prarthana hai. This is called Hindu prarthana. The Hindu prarthana. The Hindu in India, he does this all the time. Ek prarthana hai. So, kya prarthana? Prarthana means prayer. This, please, can you please move away? Because my toes are hurting. Can you please move away? We will have a dialogue, interfaith dialogue. Afterwards we will decide about it. Okay, where we will have the dialogue? In Geneva. Okay. All right. Okay, at least afterwards. I will say, you are a problem to yourself. You don't even know how to solve a problem. And therefore, this is at least there is some other there standing. But suppose it is a basic problem of self-confusion, then the solution is to see that I am free from what I think I am. So that I feel, then only there is a spiritual pursuit. I want you to understand this. There is no spiritual pursuit in this world if it doesn't resolve in a solution here, now, when I am alive. Dead, if something is going, some solution is there, I don't call it spiritual solution. That is a promised land, a promised goal, for which you need not change. All that you have got to do is have belief, a non-verifiable belief, and live with that belief and die. Die with the belief, correct? A non-verifiable belief. You will survive death, okay? You will go to heaven. All this okay is non-verifiable okay. You will survive death, okay? Means what? I just believe you. Prove. There is no proof. How is going to prove? I am going to survive death. How is going to prove? Like unless both of us die and do survive, then he can say, didn't I tell you? In which language you will talk, I don't know. The two ghosts are talking. One ghost is telling. So didn't I tell you? Yeah, you told me. You survived death. But we are not going anywhere. You know. Belief that I will survive death is a belief. That I will go to heaven is a belief. I will like it there is a belief. And I will go to heaven through this fellow, not the other fellow who has got a more vocal claim. You know. So that fellow says that no, don't go. In fact, he points out, don't go to this fellow, don't go along with him. God has updated his message. I am the last and the latest. Come on, follow me. Therefore, in this, what is spiritual? There is no spiritual. The only spiritual is, so your blood will reveal. You know, what is spiritual? So this is a simple, it's a spiritual means it's an adjective. It's an adjective. To what? Blood. The blood is spiritual. Means what? There is spirit. You can test it. So when the fellow is drunk, definitely there is spirit. So this is spiritual. Except this, there is no spirituality. This is, all other things have nothing to do. Nothing to do with what we are talking about. Now suppose we can come down a little bit and say spiritual. And what is that? Anybody who doesn't blame others wants to look at the problems one has, not blaming others in oneself. I am the one who is upset, not the others. You say others upset me. Yeah, others upset me means you give handle to others to upset you. Therefore, problem is with you. And therefore, you address that problem. And thus, those who do not blame the world and those who don't want to blame the world anymore, want to address the problem, we can call them as spiritual, correct? Relatively, to some extent. But heaven-going fellows won't address such problems. They won't address any of these problems. But people who believe something here to be done, they alone can solve this problem. And really speaking, the one who thinks that the solution is here, I am the solution, then the life is spiritual. The end is spiritual. The whole life becomes, the means is living, and the living is the means. There is no other means, understand? There is no other means. Your living is the means. How do you live? How do you live your life? That is the means. And because you are the end, and your life itself is the means. The way of living, your attitudes, your value structure, your behavior, everything is the means. How you look at the world, etc., everything, whole life becomes the means. And end is not separate from your life, and it is you. Your life is you, and end also is just you. So that is what I say spiritual. This is the topic of Vedanta, for which, and the Vedanta, this topic is the topic of Vedanta. And for this topic, there is the basic or the essence of this topic is to be traced only in the Vedanta as its means of knowledge. We will look into that later. And therefore, Shruti means the Veda is the one prasthana. That is the Mula Prasthanam. And therefore, it is the Shrutihi, is Shruti means the Veda, becomes the Mula becomes the very source of this knowledge. Then it is supported by the Gita, the Bhagavad Gita. That is the second prasthana. So with 18 chapters, this book is looked upon as an equal source of this knowledge, even though the source book is Vedanta. This highlights what the Vedanta says. Here and there it discusses certain things which are not as in detail discussed in the Mula. Certain things that are necessary for a person to gain that knowledge are discussed in much more detail in the Gita, and therefore Gita becomes another prasthana, means for gaining this knowledge it becomes another textbook. The subject matter of these two are analyzed in another book, which is in the form of sutras. So that book is in the form of sutras, but it's an analytical book. And that is what we say Brahma Sutra. So they analyze the topic, they analyze the text, and afterwards the topic also is analyzed against all other contentions. The topic is analyzed. So this analytical book is the Brahma Sutra. This form, what we say Prasthana Trayi or Prasthana Trayam, this is what we say, these three books to be understood. To be understood. Need not be studied in detail, but to be understood. Because even studied, not understood anyway. And therefore, they are to be understood. So to understand this now, naturally, therefore, in the Brahma Sutra, this what is being done there is only an analysis, is a binary analysis. So you raise a topic and you raise an objection to a particular topic, and then the objection is dismissed. Siddhanta, what is decided is what is conclusive is stated. And then again, the same thing is subjected in a different way, and then again it is answered. Therefore, objection and answer. Question and answer. Objection and answer. It's not question, objection and answer. Contention, different contention, and then dismissal of that contention. Binary. Excellent way of analysis. No confusion. You take one by one, you go further with very, very, very methodical demolition. And it's done in the Brahma Sutras. Now, here what we are planning now, to discuss the second prasthana called the Bhagavad Gita. Mahaganapatin manasa smarami Mahadeva mudam shirasa namami Mahaganapatin manasa smarami.